Have you ever watched a video, opened the comments, and realized that the top comment isn't about the video at all? It's about whether the person is attractive enough to make the post in the first place. I saw this TikTok recently where someone was just sharing something silly and received this comment ridiculing their appearance. This is kind of crazy, by the way.
Your words are worthless. You are calling me ugly on a video where I'm making a joke about my pants. What power do you think you have here? I have the jester's advantage. But hey, if this is a real problem for you, if you really hate seeing random ugly people when you scroll, maybe you shouldn't be scrolling. Maybe you should pick a new hobby where you're not gonna see people who you might find ugly. Maybe you could, like, I don't know, read a poem or a book without pictures.
I just want to say that this person is lovely. The curls are curling, the glasses are glass-singing. Honestly, they could look like the trash heap from Fraggle Rock, and I'd still laugh at their joke. But that comment stuck with me, because somewhere along the line, the internet decided that talent wasn't enough. You also have to be hot. And if you're not attractive to someone, people feel way too comfortable letting you know, even when all you wanted to do was just share something you made, or something you care about, or something about yourself. And the scary part is how normal this type of behavior has become. Not just the mean comments, but the way people start disregarding someone's words, their art, their skills, simply because they aren't considered conventionally attractive to a wide audience. And it can leave creators, artists, musicians, YouTubers. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, what's this? Oh, what's this, guys? Oh, that's my address. Hold on. Ho 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 ho. The big one. It's official. We're pregnant. Official YouTuber because I have one of these. Anyways, but a lot of creators are left with this thought in the back of their mind: if I don't look good enough, why would anyone like me or what I have to share? So today, my friends, my goobers, I wanted to talk about what it feels like to create in a world where it seems like being talented isn't enough. It feels like you also have to be attractive to succeed, and how that pressure quietly discourages so many people from posting their creations. You guys ready? Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh, you thought he was a one-time thing? No. You know what time it is. Disclaimer horse is back in business. My pony, my horse is here, and as you can see, no more. No more will you have to look at bad green screen king. No more will you have to look at my unorganized closet. Now you get this. This will mess up the camera, but I mean, just like, look. Look, see, there's so much there, and more to come. Anyway, so if I sound a little quiet or shy, it's because I'm nervous recording in this big old room. I always put a lot of time and research into my videos, but if I get something wrong or I miss something, please feel free to correct me down below. This topic is also a little bit tricky to talk about, so I am going to be protecting some of the identities that I show as examples, and my videos are never, ever to promote hate or harassment to anyone. This video is not made to make anyone feel bad, unless you're one of those nasty bullies. Then I ask you, maybe do a bit of self-reflecting. Pony agrees. But if anyone has any issues, please feel free to reach out to me if this video is bringing you any distress. Papa's got you. Papa's got you. Okay, you guys ready to get rid of this horse? All right, I'm gonna miss my, ow. So, why do people feel the need to comment on others' looks? Once you notice this, you start seeing it everywhere. You open up a comment section to see things like, not trying to be mean, but, why is no one hating? And the classic, on content where the person's appearance is completely irrelevant. They're just talking or joking or showing their art, or maybe a hobby that they have. And when you do call people out for their rude comments, the response is usually kind of the same. Something like, well, I'm allowed to have an opinion, and technically, I guess so, but that doesn't explain why this opinion feels necessary to share, or even have in the first place. These types of comments especially appear on short-form content like TikTok, Reels, and the others, and they hide behind these shelves of like pretending to be honest or neutral, and most of the time these comments on people's physical appearance on things that they can't change, whether it be for financial reasons, medical, I cannot say the word medical. It just wants me to say magical because I'm so magical. Whether it be for financial reasons or medical reasons, or maybe just they physically can't and shouldn't have to change for these commenters' comfort. And it doesn't matter about the size of the creator or artist. Anyone can be affected by this. Having a huge number of followers doesn't magically take away all your insecurities.
I love making videos so much, and I don't want to come across as tone deaf by complaining about literally anything, because there's nothing else in the world I'd rather do, and I take it upon myself to post publicly on the internet. There's mean people on the internet, and I'm aware of that, and that's never gonna change. It's really hard sometimes being like in the beauty industry when you're not conventionally attractive. I know I talk about this all the time, but like I hate looking like I don't have any teeth, because like my community knows what the deal is and whatnot, and that I can't help it. But every time I have a video get pushed out to people that have never seen me before, it's like I want to be excited because it's like a new group of people that I'm reaching, but it always just turns into me getting torn the apart in the comments for something that like I cannot help it. I know everybody gets like picked apart for something, but like I cannot fix this without literally getting my whole face reconstructed. My whole goal is to make people feel like you can do whatever the f you want. You don't have to fit into a certain mold, but like it's draining reading thousands of people agree that you're horrible to look at.
I'm not familiar with this creator or their content, but I'm sending all the love their way. And I genuinely can't remember the last time that I thought someone was ugly or felt the need to comment on someone's appearance. Maybe that's because I grew up being the ugly kid throughout my whole childhood. I'm not saying this to be like, ooh, look at me, I'm so perfect and great
and sexy.
But just like in my head, I thought that everyone would kind of grow out of this phase when they stopped being in middle school and learned better language and tools to help better understand social situations. Because what does it matter that you don't think someone is attractive? I know people say this all the time, but attractiveness is subjective, extremely so. Why does it bother you that you're not swooning over every person you see on the street? And in the same vein, you have people who feel the need to comment advice on other people's appearance when they didn't even ask for it. I've seen plenty of videos of people just filming a silly TikTok, and the comments were giving detailed instructions on how to better their appearance, even though nowhere in the TikTok did they ask for advice. Also, because of TikTok's new image reaction thing, I think Instagram has it too. People respond with like reaction images now. I've seen one recently that's just like the word son. I'm assuming that means like it's over bro, or like no hope. I'm too old to learn all this new lingo. Bear with me. But I think this behavior comes from like BP edits and the manosphere of like looks maxing and similar things. I don't really want to get into it in this video, but if you enjoy the tips and tricks, that's great. However, sometimes it can be extremely toxic and promote this bullying behavior or pushing this force fixing of appearance on people who really didn't ask for it. And kind of the same for glow up culture, but this topic really deserves a video of its own, so I can talk about all the little nuances. If you benefit from that kind of stuff, totally cool. Just make sure that obviously you're not being mean to others. I also realized that this video might come out on Valentine's Day, which I know is really hard for some people. Maybe you're spending it with me. Wait, for you, my subscriber. So I do want to quickly mention that your attractiveness and your worth as a human is not tied to having a significant other. You are beautiful and you are valued, even without a significant other. And if you have one, happy Valentine's Day. And if you don't want one, do some self-care today, right? Treat yourself with a bath bomb. I love bath bombs. But okay, when did appearance become about credibility? The problem is that we've been taught over and over that how you look determines how seriously you're taken. Whether they listen, whether they respect you, whether they engage with kindness. Oh. Engage, you say. So creators who aren't conventionally attractive get dismissed immediately to the wider audience. They're labeled as annoying, cringe, unwatchable before anyone actually engages with what they're saying or the effort that they put into something. Should we let the cat in? Speak. Heard you loud and clear. We see this constantly with actors, especially feminine presenting ones, but it can happen to anyone. An example that I can think of that really kind of upset me is Bella Ramsey. They were casted to play Ellie in the Last of Us TV series, and people just didn't critique the adaptation. They ripped Bella's appearance to shreds in the most horrible ways, completely ignoring the fact that according to many fans of the series, Bella did a genuinely good job at portraying the character. I've played the games, but I haven't watched the series yet, but I did grow up watching Bella on a show I think called The Worst Witch, maybe? And I think they voice act another character I'm familiar with, but I can't remember. So it's definitely heartbreaking to see them getting treated this way. And to be clear, let me be clear, this isn't about the debate whether actors need to look like their fictional counterparts. You can have that conversation without equating someone's appearance to their worth or their skills. But for a lot of people, Bella simply wasn't attractive enough to be taken seriously. There's another cat at the door. We cannot possibly have 2 cats at the door. You guys have to see this.
What's this? The monkey's paw.
And once that decision was made about Bella, it's like nothing else mattered. Some of these comments are the worst I've ever seen, so I'm sending so much love their way because I can't imagine what it must feel like going through that. I experienced just a little sprinkle of it, you know, posting myself online, but to have people say horrible things about your appearance on that big of a scale just breaks my heart. You can also see this with a lot of hobbies like cosplay or the makeup community. You see a lot of comments of people worrying and feeling like they can't participate in some of these hobbies because they don't feel like their appearance is up to par. And I will say, you know, even including me, I experienced this as someone who dabbles in the cosplay community. Sometimes I'll straight up be like, oh, I can't cosplay this character because I'm not attractive enough. It can really take a toll on your mental health sometimes. And you shouldn't have to have this thick skin just to share your passions and things you worked hard on. So I briefly want to talk about this from a faceless creator perspective. Because this mindset doesn't just stop at people who show their faces. We see the same thing happen to artists and creators who don't. People go to genuinely insane lengths to uncover what someone looks like, as if they're owed that information. Because heaven forbid someone likes someone who's unattractive. Take the band Sleep Token, for example. Let me preface this by saying I don't know a whole lot about the band, so
Bear with me.
they wear masks to let their music speak for itself and to maintain anonymity. Look at me saying that big word. And despite those reasons and probably many more, a fan leaked deeply personal information about one of the band members, including their birth certificate, which that is so violating, leading them to temporarily delete the post on their socials, stating like nothing lasts forever, I think, in their bio. People cared more about what they look like than the fact that these people they claim to love just had their privacy violently violated. I'm glad that they have been able to continue and move forward with their art regardless of the situation. I'm sure a few other artists who do show their faces come to mind when you think about how their talent, skills, and art gets pushed to the side due to the fact that they aren't conventionally attractive. And you've probably seen this with faceless YouTubers too. The moment a face reveal happens, people say things like, oh, that's what they look like, or they lose interest entirely and make it vocally known that they've lost interest. Not because the content changed, but because the creator didn't match the fantasy that they built in their heads. In unfortunate cases, this does run some creators and people off the internet entirely. All because they didn't meet someone else's standards of attractiveness. And I can't imagine having that fear and anxiety already about your appearance to only have it leaked without your consent or permission. And people tearing you to shreds because you don't look like a real life Gojo.
Here you go, Joe. Here you go, Joe.
And this type of thing has been going on longer than you probably think, and outside of the social media circle. Let me tell you a tale. Let me tell you a story. Long ago, in a time before TikTok comments and Instagram reels, we were already being taught this lesson with reality TV.
Oh boy, yes sir, reality TV.
Now I will say reality TV didn't invent this, it just turned it into entertainment for the masses. Shows like The Swan. Ooh, this show follows 2 people at a time labeled ugly ducklings, documenting their extreme transformations, turning them into swans. And this isn't a little bit of Queer Eye gay magic with a bit of new clothes and a dashing new haircut and a facial. This involved cosmetic surgeries, dental work, intense fitness regimens with a personal trainer, and takes place over the span of 3 months, all framed as self-improvement. And you'll see why I'm doing the air quotes in a second, but at the end of these 3 months, the 2 women compete against each other, and whichever one was deemed more beautiful, more attractive at the end, goes on to compete in a beauty pageant. And then whichever contestant receives the most votes from that beauty pageant, they would be considered. Considered? What? They would be considered the swan. And then they would win. Yeah! Assume me telling you this is a little bit more shocking than maybe watching it. I don't know. I've only seen 1 or 2 clips from the swan, but the message was kind of clear whether they intended it to be this way or not. You cannot be happy, you cannot be loved, or successful until you're fixed. And you know, from that alone, I can admit, yeah, I think I would probably agree to be on that show as well. If someone promised me they could get rid of all of my insecurities and turn me into a supermodel, and I don't have to pay for it, sign me up. However, it's really important to remember that a lot of contestants really regret going on the show in the first place. It's not quite the magical fix that it's made out to be. A few contestants have spoken out about having unresolved medical issues from the procedures that they received on the show, as well as a few contestants have also spoken out about suffering with severe mental health issues. Contestants have stated that they felt pressured by the show's production team to undergo more procedures than they originally wanted or were comfortable with. The list is quite long of people who have had negative experiences being on the show. These shows didn't just change how people looked. They taught viewers that being unhappy with your body just meant you were unfinished. You just need to drop a few thousand smackaroonies on some procedures. Also, I want to say, I'm not against any cosmetic surgery. Do what you want to do, slay your body, it's yours, not mine. This show is just really harmful because it lacks the safeguard that most plastic surgeons or cosmetic healthcare workers have when assessing if these procedures are really needed for these patients. But when you grow up absorbing those messages, you carry it everywhere, including online, because attractiveness is a gatekeeper to credibility. And since it's been so ingrained into us that our appearance affects whether people listen, whether people engage with you respectfully, or treat you with kindness, or take your advice, your knowledge, your experience, it's created this new type of fear for people, especially in this new day and age of everything being online all the time, like me and you are right now. Creators or individuals being immediately dismissed as cringe. It's now created this fear for some people that just simply existing, they'll get turned into a meme just because of how they look. And whether for privacy reasons or all the things we previously talked about, a lot of creators choose to be faceless and let their art and their words speak for itself. You can also learn more about, like the sleep token thing I mentioned. I have a bunch of more examples in this video if you guys want to go check it out. YouTube did not like the video. They said, no, no, no. If you missed it, there it is. A lot of fans can become really obsessed about learning what these creators and people look like. I do want to make it crystal clear that these things can affect people even if they aren't creators and never want to be creators. I know for me, I shared this in another video of mine, but in elementary school, up until I was pulled out of school, I was extremely bullied for my appearance. I was constantly called the ugliest kid in school. I was bullied on social media in the very early stages of Instagram. I would get tagged in posts calling me top 5 ugliest kids in school. You know what? I won that. I won that shite. Yes, I did. I know this is pretty cliche, but I was the person who would get asked out as a joke, so I just started saying no to everyone. So I know that these comments can have long-lasting effects on individuals because they just follow you around no matter how much you glow up. They're always there. Even if you fix these insecurities, you still think about it sometimes. And I think for those of us, this type of thinking, it has really affected our whole life. It can be really difficult to try and get rid of that constant insecurity. I don't know, for me, those types of posts promising to help you get rid of your insecurities, I will always fall for those. They will always get me. They always get me. I end up trying a bunch of silly stuff or buy a bunch of weird products. So I'm part of the problem too. I need to work on it as well. But I do want to say this video carries absolutely no blame, no judgment when it comes to this type of conversation. I just wish that commenters would have a bit more grace and be a bit more careful about what they're saying because it really affects people. And these type of comments can make people end up doing reckless, harmful things. Like the swan. And with social media being very overly edited nowadays, nothing wrong with a filter or a quick little edit to hide some blemishes, whatever it may be. I could care less how you edit your photos, but seeing everyone being perfect all the time and not being able to tell what's real, what's edited, it can leave people feeling like something's wrong with them just because they don't have this permanent, perfect aura. And that has a quiet effect on creators. Whether it has impacted you very severely or very lightly, it's something that follows you around no matter what. Thoughts creep in your head like, maybe I shouldn't post this. Maybe I shouldn't show my face. I look weird in this video, in this photo. A lot of content gets deleted or scrapped because of this huge anxiety and weight lying down on people because of the fear of their physical appearance. And sadly, I don't have the answer to that. I don't know how to fix it because it's something I still struggle with, but I have gotten better. That's right. We're not hopeless on this channel. No, sir. I think about it every time I post. It's something that's always weighing in the back of my head. I refilm videos because my hair will look slightly better on a different day. I've completely abandoned videos because I felt like I was too ugly and I didn't even look human. But I pushed through and I post my content because I worked hard on it. And I don't have to be beautiful for you all of the time. Or maybe I do. I want to share my work with everyone regardless if my hair is looking a little funky. I can't imagine how many musicians, artists, makeup creators, video analysis, or whoever it may be, who have put their projects aside or maybe even completely abandoned them or maybe haven't started creating at all in the fear that they feel they aren't attractive enough to succeed. But I know if a creator I really loved, let me go grab a guy. Hold on, this is important. Ho ho! I actually stole this. This is my main lemon squeezes. Now it's my Corey for this part, but I personally know if a creator I really liked started talking about how they feel too unattractive, I'd be like, nonsense!
Nonsense.
But the majority of people don't actually care, or they don't notice the insecurities that are weighing down on you. Because when I was a kid, it got instilled into my head that I was some creature from another planet. It was so ugly and disgusting. And when I got into my later teens, I decided, instead of trying to be like who everyone thought was the most attractive, the famous actors, the football players, the Justin Biebers. At the time, I think it was like Justin Bieber and One Direction and Maddie B. Yo, if you know Maddie B. But instead of trying to be like who everyone else thought was the most attractive at the time, I started thinking about who I thought was cool at the time. I thought about my favorite characters, my favorite YouTubers. Elle from Death Note, Axel from Kingdom Hearts, Noctis from Final Fantasy. Instead of struggling so hard to look like people that I don't even like, no hate to Maddie B though, alright? And the others. I decided I was gonna look like whoever I thought was cool, even if it was Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. So I started doing what I wanted. Cut my hair in weird ways, dyed it crazy colors, wearing different clothes that I liked just because I liked them. And by doing that and expressing myself, I started to become more comfortable. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, yes, it fixed everything. I'm so happy all the time and sexy. I'm still extremely insecure. However, I'm happy. No longer do I look at pictures of Brian and Jason and think, man, I wish I looked like them. I'm sure Brian and Jason are great, but I much prefer to look like an X-Love member. And I wish I could fix everyone's insecurity. The magic wave of my Miku. Please, Miku, make the world a better place. Skirt. And I really wish that people didn't have to experience this. But it's really important to remember that you don't owe strangers or anyone attractiveness. It's not your job to satisfy everyone with your appearance. It's not your job to satisfy everyone with the things that you create. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you are allowed to exist without having to be a supermodel behind the screen. You deserve the right to create and do the things that make you happy. So I ask you to create anyway. It's everyone's first time living. We can't choose the bodies that we're born in, and we can't choose how others react to that. And we can choose to be kind, understanding, and willing to learn. We can customize our avatars, however. We can keep ourselves well fed, and we can be ugly. It's just a part of existing. And I ask that people just be mindful on how you talk to others. Whether you think you're being honest or just being helpful, appearance shouldn't be the only thing about someone. There's so much more to someone than how they look on the outside. Your value shouldn't stem on whether your hair looks good that day or whether you have perfect skin. It's a hard thing to learn, even for myself. But I don't want to become all preachy. You get it. Everyone gets it. All right. Shut up, Gage. We've had enough. But it's definitely something that I'm still learning and trying to overcome, and I hope that we can all do it together, because we are not alone. You have so much value and so much beauty outside of just a TikTok comment section or rude comments made by family members or friends. Those do hit hard too. Sometimes things on the internet you can just ignore, but when someone close to you says something like that, ooh, nilly, is that hard to get over. But you are worthy as existing as you are. Alrighty, we made it through, me and you. That was a bit of a weird doozy of a video. I kind of made it as just a little filler video. I have a big video planned coming up soon, so I apologize if this video just seems rambly at some parts. I just like talking. But thank you guys for all the support and love on my channel recently. I really want to do more. I want to post more. I want to make more things. So thank you for sticking with me while I try and do better. Huge shout out to my Patreons and my
Wait, no. I actually already filmed this outro.
my channel members, and you, my little subscribers. You thought I forgot about you. I will post something on my Patreon soon. I have a few ideas, including maybe an office tour. Yeah, since we're in this new cool space, and I have a few cool things here. Like this guy. He's kind of cool. Let me know anything you would like to see me cover or talk about next. But unfortunately, that is all the yapping I have time for today. So, same time next week.